the Quran speaks to us through particulars in the life of the Prophet, but that particulars that, even though they might refer to him, ﷺ, also resonate with us. And I remember the moment in my life, I was already Muslim, but had been Muslim maybe for about a year or so, but the moment in my life that has always been a touchstone for truth and certainty, and that no matter how confused I get, no matter how lazy I get, no matter how distant I feel from God, I always go back to this moment. This is the truest moment in my life. And when I was traveling in the summer with one of my friends, we were traveling in Senegal and Mali, and we were in we were in Bamako, the capital of Mali. We were traveling from Bamako to the city of Mopti, and it was about a 12-hour or 8-hour bus ride. And it was the summertime in Mali. It was very hot. And we both felt great, but I started feeling a little bit of a tickle in my throat. And within half an hour, I was the sickest I'd ever been in my whole life. I felt like my throat hurt so much, I felt like it was bleeding on the inside. And of course, we know in the news today that in Africa there's some pretty serious diseases. And I had no idea what was afflicting me. I was terrified, I was miserable. We were on this bus, and it was so crowded and so hot. And I was in complete agony. And the Malian guy next to me had this boombox, this stereo on batteries, and he was playing the Police sound, the Roxanne and Don't Stand So Close to Me and Walking on the Moon. To this day, I cannot listen to any of those songs over and over and over again at full volume. And I felt like I was going insane. And it was a moment in which I had the most profound doubt I've ever had in my life. I said, this is BS. God has never done anything for me. That was the most honest doubt I had in my life. And it was interesting that I didn't say God doesn't exist. I said, God has never done anything for me. And then in that moment, I'm not saying I had a revelation, which would be awkward to say in a mosque, but when sometimes you're just a song lyric or something comes into your mind, words came into mind. أَلَمْ يَجِدْكَ يَتِيمًا فَآوَى وَوَجَدْكَ ضَالًا فَهَدَى وَوَجَدْكَ عَائِلًا فَأَغْنَى. Did God not find you astray, an orphan, and give you shelter, astray and guide you, poor and enrich you? And then I felt this overwhelming guidance, overwhelming comfort and truth, and I felt closer to the divine than I had ever felt in my life, the most perfect moment of happiness and content. And even though I was sick as a dog for the next couple of days, I was never happier, never more energetic in my life. And I've often thought about this because those verses are talking to the Prophet, ﷺ. God is comforting the Prophet after a period, thank you, Jazakallah khair, early in his prophethood, when he hasn't received revelations for a time.